Hello, everyone. Thank you for joining. This month's Campfire session is on the topic generating projects from opportunity products. Um, so I know a lot of you are aware of the standard or generation methods that we have within the product. So we'll slightly be deviating from that and sort of combining mission control and Salesforce and figuring out a solution. So here's a little bit about me. My name is Omar. I'm part of the customer success team here at Dubrika. You may know me from customer support, customer success activities like training videos, Canva sessions, health checks, onboarding, so on. Yeah. All right, so let's jump to the next slide. So the agenda. So with the opportunity auto generation feature, you're able to generate projects that associate to an opportunity based on a generation method that you've selected. So, the standard opportunity generation method, and then there's a few on products. So particularly on the products generation methods, as you're aware, you can add in if you use one of the product generation method, you can add multiple products in, and any milestone templates that relate to these products would then get associated to one new project. And so you have that level of flexibility in choosing what specific milestones that get associated to the new project. We're doing something a little bit different today. So in today's session, we're going to be looking at how you can generate multiple projects based on the products that you've added to the opportunity. So you might want a project. So you might be delivering multiple different services to a customer, and you can generate multiple different projects from that opportunity. So this will include the use of some standard mission control features as well as some custom configuration. So this will include the use of the project request feature, some custom fields. We'll be updating page layouts as well as some custom flows. So this session is to highlight the idea that even if your use case is not exactly met with mission control, you can sort of customize it using the power of Salesforce and all of its customizations. So there's a lot of flexibility in meeting your requirements. So today we'll also be generating a program. So all the new projects that get generated under that opportunity, they get linked to a program, and so you sort of have that high level overview as well, and those charts that provide all that information summed up in one place. Yeah, so first up, we'll be looking at the solution that we've built out. We'll walk through that solution. I'll review some of the how it works, as well as the custom fields we've added in, the flows that we've added in to help with that. One more thing to note, there's going to be a little bit of configuration. So what we'll do is follow up with a guide on this, so a playbook that you can access from our website. So we'll make sure to put that out as soon as possible. All right, so let's jump in. So let's talk about some of the custom fields that we've added in. So this isn't part of the product, but it's just something that I've added in as part of this demo. So the first field is on the program object. So I won't go into too much detail. We'll have a look at them once we look at the solution. But we've got a opportunity field on the program. So the program and the opportunity can get linked together. So it's a lookup field. We have a project template field on the product. So as you know, on the product, you can specify a milestone template that's part of the product. But what I've done is created a custom field called project template that links to a specific project. So this is what will allow us to generate a project per product. The next field is on the opportunity product. So this is the line item. So this is what sits in between the opportunity and the product. And so that it has a formula field called product has project. And it basically checks to see if that previous field, the project template field, is populated. If it is populated, it'll return true. If it isn't, then it'll return false. So the next field is again on the same object, so opportunity product, and it has a checkbox field called generate project. So we're not necessarily checking that ourselves. It's the flow that does that based on certain criteria that we've set. So we'll have a look at how that works as well. And lastly, we've got a field called project request. Program on the project request object. So this is what links the program to the new projects that get generated. And that program field is populated based on the program value on the opportunity field. All right, so that's a quick overview. Again, we'll go in a bit more detail let's jump into the demo. I'll just, before I jump in, if anybody could just let me know if the audio is clear, if you're able to put something in the chat or the Q&A, so you can ask any questions you've got. Um, well, I'll just quickly switch on over to the next screen. Um, yep, Paul's raised a hand. Um, could you just put something in the chat for me, or the Q&A section, just so I know you guys can hear me all right? Oh, there it is. Yep, I see a question, sorry, comment in there. So thank you, Paul. Looks like we'll be using the Q&A. So any questions you've got, just put them in the Q&A, and we'll go from there. Um, all right, so let me just pull this up here. All right, so I'm on the mission control console right now. What I'll do is jump on over to an opportunity, and we'll walk through that solution that we've built out, just so you understand how it works and what's happening exactly, and then we'll go through the whole solution together. So we've got the opportunity field in opportunity record over here. It's on the proposal stage right now, and we haven't added any product just yet. So just keep in mind, we're not using the standard mission control functionality of auto generation. We're using project requests and some customization. So what I'll do is first add in some products. So I'll go ahead and add the IntelliMill implementation. So this client's requested an implementation for the IntelliMill product, as well as a gold implementation bundle. And they'll also need mission control licenses. So I'll just select that. Now I want a separate project for the IntelliMill implementation and for the mission control, because they're two separate products. I want to track their progress separately, and I'll walk through how that's set up currently in our org. So we want one of each, and then let's say we need 30 licenses. So I've already set up these products. I'll walk through how those are set up. So right now I've updated my multi-line page layout within the page layout. So I've got the total price field there. That's a formula field that's going to get updated once we save it here. And the generate project field. So right now this is unchecked. We're not setting it to true. The flow will do that for us. So once we generate the project, we'll come back and see that these fields have been updated. So go ahead and save. So we have 3 products here. I'll just open them up real quick. So I want a project that gets generated for the IntelliMill implementation, so I can track that separately. I want another project for the mission control gold implementation, and I don't want a project on the licenses just because it's a 5-minute step for me to do. It doesn't really need a project separately. So this is the line item for it. For the opportunity, I'll just navigate onto the product, and we'll have a look at what the values are for the custom fields that we've put in. So on the product, we have a custom field called project template, and that basically relates to a project template that I have in my org. So if I just open that up, I'll do the same on the next one. So again, I've got a project template associated over there. But for the mission control licenses product, I don't have a template related. So we'll come back to that in a second. So this is the project template that's going to be used to generate the project for the IntelliMill implementation, and then this is the mission control implementation template. So those two, I expect to see 2 projects over there, and this one doesn't have any templates, so that's fine. We don't want a project for it. Now, if I go back to the line items from here, so because so this is the IntelliMill line item, so because I had specified the template on the product, I can see that the product has project field is true because that's what it's referring to. If that field is populated, it's going to return true. Otherwise, it's going to return false. I've also got the second field in there. So generate project, again, it's false right now, but our flow is going to update that once we close on the opportunity. So we can come back to check once that's been updated. Similarly, I've got this second product here for the mission control implementation. This is true, this is false. That's looking good. And lastly, I've got the licenses line item. So again, this one didn't have a template, and that's why it's false. And we don't want to generate a project for it. So our flow will automatically understand that because this was false, we don't want to update this, and that's why it's not going to generate a project for us. That's the different products that we've added in. Now we'll go ahead and close on the opportunity from here. So what the flow does is it checks to see if there's a product that has a project template specified. And if it does, then it sets the generate checkbox to true. And when that generate checkbox is true, it triggers another flow that basically creates project request records for us. So I'm in the wrong page here, so I'll just edit products here. So you'll see that because those two had the project template specified, I set up the flow so that it sets that field to true, and when that's true, it goes ahead and creates project requests. So those two are true, this one is false, so it's looking good so far. What this flow also does is it creates a program for me. So because I associated the opportunity and program through a lookup, it's now created that program and it's associated it with this opportunity. So I can see that here I've updated my page layout related list and brought that up over here. And I've also got project requests in there. So I just need to update my page to see those projects in there. But let's have a look at the project requests. So this is one of the project requests. This is for the IntelliMail implementation. So I've picked this name out from the product itself. I've associated what template needs to be used based on what's specified on the product. The start date is based on the close date. I've set the generate project to true because we want to see a project in there. The project gets generated and it gets updated over here using standard mission control functionality. I've updated the program as well based on what was created before, and the opportunity it relates to, as well as the account. So all of these fields in there, we'll see these values pull over onto the new projects that get generated, and we'll see how it links to the program as well. So because we've automatically linked it over here on the project request, we'll see that the new project also gets linked, and we can use the different charts, the different information in one place just to have that high level overview. So if I jump back in here, it's the same story for the second project request. It's picking up values from the product that we have and populating them on this new project request. So if I go back here, if I look at the projects and just refresh my view, oh, there we go. So I've got those two projects in there that I can start working on, start assigning people to. And there's that second project in there. So everything's looking good. The project has been generated. And if I go back to the opportunity, I can now look into the program and I'll see that it's been associated with that opportunity, the account as well. And now I've got that program, or I can use the standard functionality from the program record. So I can access the Gantt here. I can see those two different projects over here that I can work on. And again, I can access all the standard features here, whiteboards, charts here. So I can see all my budgets in there, all the milestones, the actions, who are assigned to it, what hours there are, and so on. So that's that's tying in the standard mission control functionality along with some customization using flows and custom fields. And now we'll have a look at how we've set that up. So if I just jump on over to the object manager for the program. So this is the first field here. This is relating the program and opportunity. So it's just a standard lookup field that's on the program object that looks up to the opportunity. Nothing else over here. So we'll go to the next one, product. So this is a project template field that we've added to the product object, and it's a lookup to project. So it specifies what template needs to be used here. And we've added in a filter criteria, so it only shows project templates. We don't want standard projects coming through. Okay, so that's the next field. So now we'll go to the opportunity product. So this is a formula field. So product has project. So it basically looks to the parent product record and it checks to see if the project template field, so the one that we were just discussing over here, if this has been populated. If it has been populated, it'll return true, otherwise it'll return false. And this is then used in the flow to determine if we need to generate a project, which is this next field. So if this field is true, then it triggers the next part of the flow, which will then create the project request for us, and it'll generate a project for us. So again, this is just a checkbox here on the opportunity product. And I'll quickly go through the page layout update I made over here. So the opportunity product, just go into there and edit the multi-line layout. And you can select what fields you want to display here. So when we're editing the products that we had, we were able to see these fields in there. So that's how I added them in. And lastly, we have a field on the project request, so program. Basically, we're populating the program on the project request so that the new projects that get generated get linked to this program. And yeah, no lookup filters there, but just that program lookup. So if I just go back over here, mission control. So another thing that I've done is if I just go back to one of the project requests. So let's go ahead and select this one. So you know how there's some standard fields that are available by default, and those get linked automatically to the new project. So for example, the account and the opportunity. So if I go to the project, I can see that there is I can see that the opportunity has been updated automatically, as well as the account. And this is based on the mapping that's set up within the control pad. So because the program is a custom field that I've added in, I need to set that mapping up as well so that new projects get associated with it accordingly. So if I just go back to the mission control console, I can jump into the control pad and scroll down until I find the auto generation field mapping tile. So from here, I can click create, and on the left hand side, I've got all the fields on the project and what field I want to use to update that field when the project gets generated. So if we're not generating from the opportunity right now, we're just using the project request. So I'll scroll down until I find the program field on the left hand side here. So there it is. And I've set that to the custom field that I created. So this means when the project request has that generate project field is set to true, the new project will be associated with the program that's specified on the project request. And we can see that that's the case. So that's the custom fields part, as well as the page layout changes that you may want to do, as well as the mapping that you want to do. Up next is building out that flow. So I'll walk through how that flow is set up. Um, so this is a flow that's running on the opportunity object. So any record that gets created or updated, it's going to be triggered. So there's no entry condition, so it's going to run on every opportunity, but you can optimize that if you need to. And this is optimized for updating actions and related records. So we're not doing any quick updates. We're actually creating records and updating the other records. So we'll use this second option here. So first up here, we've got a decision element here. So we're checking to see if the opportunity stage has been set to closed one. And if it's not closed one, then you don't want to do anything. But if it is closed one, we want to do something. And we've also specified a condition where it's only supposed to do that whenever it is changed to be closed one, not every single time the record has been updated and the condition is closed one. Otherwise, it would constantly generate or do multiple updates on the opportunity. So that's why we've gone with the second option here. So the condition here is that if the stage is closed one, then we want to proceed with that. And the second condition is if the opportunity has line items in the first place. So we don't want we want to make sure that there are line items within that opportunity to be able to then go ahead and generate the records that we need to generate. So we're just using standard criteria here. So it has line items equals to true, and that gives us the stage is equals to closed one path. So the first element here is create program. So we're creating a program record. So we're setting those values manually. We've set the program over there. The name is based on the opportunity name. The opportunity it gets linked to is based on the opportunity that triggers this flow. And the account is what's specified on the opportunity, the triggering opportunity. So once it creates that program, the next step is another element here which updates record. So this one is updating related record. So under the opportunity, you've got those products in there, the line items. It's updating them. And there's a condition where it wants to update that. So first up here, we want to update related records. So that's the line items we're updating. And the condition is if the opportunity line item has the product has project field set to true, so that formula field that we had. So basically we're saying if the project template is set to true, or if the project template has been specified, then we want to generate the project. So that's when we set the generate project is to true. And that's the end of this flow. And once this is done, it moves on to the next flow. So this flow is based on opportunity product. So this is the line items. So we've at this point we've created a program and we've also updated the generate project field on the line item. So whenever this record opportunity product record gets updated or created, this flow is going to run or get triggered. So again, it's on create or update. there's no entry condition, and it's updating related record. So that's what it's optimized for. So first up, we've got a decision to make here. So has the generate project field been set to true? In our case, for two of those line items, it was set to true, and that's why we want to proceed with that with this pathway. So it's checking to see if the project is required or not. So if it's not required, then it'll skip it. But if it is, the conditions are product has project set to true, yes. The generate project set to true, yes. So that's looking good for two of those products. And that's the path it's going to take for those two products. So first up here, it's going to create get the program record. So the one that we just created, it's going to find that based on the opportunity that this opportunity line item links to. So this is assuming that there's only one record, but we have filtered it so that there's it only returns one. If there's any other criteria, if you've got multiple programs that relate to an opportunity, you'll want to make sure you assign some additional criteria to find the right one. Yeah, so we're storing all those field values in there. So lastly, we're now creating the project request. So with the project request, that uses the standard functionality of mission control to generate the project for us. So now we're just applying it all the information it needs to generate that project for us. So this create records element here, it's creating that project request. It's updating the program to the one that we just found for the previous element. It's updating the account based on what's specified on the opportunity. It's updating the generate project and setting that to true. The opportunity is based on the current the parent opportunity's ID. The project name is the product name. The start date is the close date on the opportunity. The project template is the one specified on the product. And then the proposed budget is the total price that we have from the line item. So that's you can add in additional information there, but that's good enough for us to get that project generated. And once that's generated, we see those project requests pull through. It sets that generate project to true, and then it generates a project. So that is that's the flow, the whole workflow of it, how it works, how those projects get generated. If I just jump back into the opportunity there, yeah. So again, we still haven't utilized the auto generation, the standard part for the opportunity, so that's still left blank. So if you wanted to use that, not use it, you can leave that there. And yeah, so we've got the products there, the program, the projects, and we can now look at the program or at the high level view, or just jump directly into the projects. All right, so I know it's probably a lot to have a look at in terms of the config. So we'll also be doing a playbook for it, as I mentioned earlier. So we'll have a playbook that we'll put out on our website. So if you'd like us to build out something similar in your org, you can follow along with that guide. Any questions relating to this specific use case or anything else? All right, well, if there's no questions, we can all leave a little bit early. If you do come up with questions after the call, you know how to reach us. You can reach us at support@preco.com or go to our website, preco.com/support. We've got a lot of documentation in terms of user guide, training videos, knowledge base, and we're constantly updating them. So any questions, reach out to us, or review our self-learning documentation. Yeah. And we're open to taking any requests around topics to cover off in Campfire sessions. So if you've got a specific use case you'd like for us to cover off, let us know, and we'd be happy to do that. All right, that's all for me. And yeah, I hope you all have a good day, and see you in the next month of the next Campfire.